Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. The Rakakwadash is the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew, and double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word, Lord willing. They can continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth in the same spirit, teaching His word and believing His word, Lord willing, they can continue to endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akwafim that are believers of the faith. Lord willing, you can continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. I have, ideas, going through my mind, especially with the videos I've been watching, the chapters I've been reading while I'm at work. But something always brings me back to bringing out certain things in the Maccabees. And this guy you see on the screen, Antiochus Epiphanes, I believe the 6th, it was a very important time in history at that moment. And if you're in tune with the things that happen, even the growth of coon or coonery, right? And this man, Antiochus Epiphanes, became a madman, which we're going to see on this side. We're going to see the true colors of Esau, because this whole thing that we got going on, of course, is the revealing of the 12 tribes of Israel, the revealing of Yahweh Shai through His name and His Father, and the revealing of the so-called Edomites, who are the white man and woman, right? That some people that say that they in this truth don't want to accept, and people outside this truth don't want to accept it, right? But very vital things are going to happen that's almost in the same reflection of in the Greek captivity and many more, especially the Hellenization, where you had to leave your laws and your languages and your customs and become one people under this ruler right here, or emperor, right? And with this new system of America, right, for their real new world order to take, to be front and center, they have to be done away with the old system, right? And this is them slowly but surely working on this. You got to have eyes to see it. So let's read just this right here. You can go to the Wikipedia and we can get more information on it. Antiochus Epiphanes was a Greek Hellenistic king who ruled the Seleucid Empire from 175 BC until his death in 164 BC. He was a son of King Antiochus III the Great, originally named Mithridates. He assumed the name Antiochus after he acceded the throne. Right, so we going into his actions, but really it's gonna be mostly dealing with Israel. Sometimes I'm gonna talk about this. I might hop in other precepts, but I really just showed so you could see who was ruling at this time. This was an Idumean, a so-called Edomite of the nation of Esau, right? So let's get into the first verse. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. You can read it in the KJV. I'm going to read it in the NLT. So I got both sides for you while I'm reading. In the NLT, it says, "What is happening now has happened before, and what will happen in the future has happened before, because God makes the same things happen over and over again." Right? And the Lord is just and right by doing that. And it's all for us to get that chance, this mercy chance, this grace period, to get it right to cleave to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and do it right, right? But you want to be guided and moved by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's the only way we can get it, right? We don't want to be a sellout. Back then, it was always going against the law. The nations grew because they had a round table, like a summit. When you look at Psalms 83, and they had a crafty counsel how to make us fall. And they did understand that if we sin against the Most High, Judith chapter 5, verse 17 down, if we sin against Yahweh Hashem Shai, we will become weak and they will be able to overcome us and devour us, right? But soon as there's no iniquity in our nation, we start to humble ourselves. Second Chronicles 7 and 14, we humble ourselves, we pray, we go back into seeking the Lord, which, Lord willing, this can usher in another lesson I want to do, which is a part 2 of investigating. Brother Yarmayan was saying the elect on this side is doing a deep dive investigation in the scriptures, right? In all aspects. I mean, we would be here forever if I was to just teach, just going through the Bible, investigating. So it will really have to go into series, right? So just even for this moment, which I will link up with the MOTB, because right now, under Esau, he's already having us go off by eating pork, using pork in supplements, deodorant, soap, right? So it's really about Yahushai. It's really about your faith. You continue in your belief. That's what they're going to try to alter, right? And if we're of the world, they know that we can't get the kingdom. They know that we can't be sheeps if we become a part of the world. This is why all rulers that was against us studied us to see how they can make us fall. Didn't the Philistines study Samson? And of course they seen he likes women. We like women. I love women. And they use women to get to him. That's why this goes back into having discernment, right? You have to always know that your enemy is working double time to trip you up, right? So let's go to the main point. This is the Maccabees. Salaki family. Okay, this is the first Maccabees chapter 1. And I'm going to have both sides, the KJV and the GNT, right? The left-hand side is the GNT, the right side is the KJV. So I'm going to deal with certain points, right? Okay. So I'm going to start at verse 9 because this goes into after Alexander had got sick. He died and his kingdom was passed down to his 4 successors, right? So verse 9 in the KJV, it says, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Now, before I keep going, of course, America is Rome 2.0. But you have to know the elites, they understand these scriptures, to the way that the Lord allowed them, let alone the history of their own nation. So yes, America is established as Senate, state, and so on and so on, just a reflection of Rome. But outside of that, when you look at people that's truly in power, like the banking family, the ones that control the food that's distribute, the ones that control the medicine, they move more in secret. And what do is to have general wealth is when it's handed down from generation to generation. Nobody is, with the least, they're not just letting anybody just, excuse my language, fuck up the mission or fuck up the bag or fuck up the plan. This is not like the movies that we see on Hollywood that's always having defaults. This is real life. So they choose the ones that's gonna sit in this seat, that's gonna sit in that seat. Because when you look at the Rockefeller or the Rothschild, the father, Jacob, or John, if I may say, or is David, he had maybe it's Jacob. He had 5 sons, right? And with those 5 sons, he moved them all around in different areas where central banks or head banks would be, that they established under their umbrella, right? And then guess what? It just stayed in the family. Of course, close families that's in certain government seats, certain faces that's in certain militaries or high seats. It all stems from the elite passing it down from descendant to descendant, right? I'm just giving this as a sidebar because this is the Greek captivity. And just in that same, what we just read, they put on crowns and did their son after them many years, and evils were multiplied. So that means that crown was given down to descendant after descendant, right? And evils grew upon the earth. How much more on this side? When you look at education, when we even go all the way to slavery, where they try to tell you the Democrat is for you, but the Democrats was really against you. And even the Republicans, they all serve the same side. We talk about certain presidents, Andrew, all of them wanted to continue in the slavery or slaveholders, sharecropping. You have to know the state of your flock, but you have to know the state of your adversaries, right? Your real adversaries is not sitting in the crackhead house. Your real adversaries is the ones that's orchestrating, the drugs coming to the community, laws, and other things, white collar crimes, right? So let's keep going. This is First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 4 in the KJV. It says, "And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king," which we just seen as the third, "who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned 137th year of the kingdom of Greek." Right? When you go more into the history, he was getting greedy because he wanted to rule over Egypt and the land of Israel. So Rome, one of a top guy, made a line in the dirt and basically said, if you cross this line, so on and so on would happen, right? But this ushers in the problem of what Israel might have to face later on. I'm gonna stay this length, right? And if I need the other one, I'll go to the other side, right? So verse 11, "In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow." Right? So even when you look at that, now we gotta look at that and see if they, right? This is First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11. "At that time there appeared in the land of Israel a group of traitorous Jews who had no regard for the law and who had a bad influence on many of our people. They said, Let's come to terms with the Gentiles, for our refusal to associate with them has brought us nothing but trouble." Right? And guess what? We're going to see this same push on people trying to encourage the children of Israel to go take this MOTB. Many of us, or not even us, many of, the fellow so-called Hebrew Israelites, you know, even in these congregations, is not trying to take the notion to really believe in the MOTB, being physical, and actually teaching, don't take it, right? That you'll be put to death and you won't get salvation on this side, right? But really, the elect is not going to take it, because throughout the history of us, it was always certain men and women that continue to stand firm in the faith. That's why when you even clear up certain points in the New Testament, this is why it's still a handful that grew into the faith of Yahushua, because they truly, truly believed, right? Of course, we needed Yahushua to make it even more clear, but if they was actually true believers, they was listening all the way through the time of Moses and the time of Isaiah. So when Yahushua did come in the flesh, it was like oh, I get it, right? So turning it back so it could just be one. So now we seen that these was traitorous people, right, in our nation, which you will look at today, we call them Coons, right? So we're going to have people that's going to promote this MOTB in this system, that I think this would be good for us, because you just heard it was, what was it? He said, for since we departed from them, we had much sorrow. So if you don't take the MOTB, you're gonna run through problems of not being able to eat, maybe not drinking something. Maybe you as a man might have to give up a certain drink that you see or you have, and your family drink it, and then you don't. Some people go, hey man, I think we might as well go take that MOTB, right? Because as a side, Revelations chapter 13, verse 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right? And that number is going to go into that stigma, right? So this right here is going to put us in a tight spot, right? But literally for the elect, it's really not, right? Because the Lord told us, whoever endure to the end, the same shall be saved. We must endure this little affliction we're going to have to deal with, right? We said that we're not of the world. We say we don't want to be a part of the world. So when this MOTB come, which is a C boogie, which in order for you to be a part of the system, you must take it in order to buy and sell, right? We seen further on in the Maccabees, especially the second Maccabees, where they force a brother to eat pork. And he said, nah, what about, the generation after, or the other brothers and sisters? They might take this and say it's okay to turn from your hope, to turn from your patience, right? Because we must be patient with the Lord, because how much more was Yahweh Shem Yahushai patient with us, right? It took for us now, for the time that we at right now, to cleave to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is the last captivity, right? And even more to go with the deep investigation, right? The more you get deep in this, the more you understand us as a people. The 12 tribes of Israel went through 14 captivities, 7 the greatest captivities and 7 the least captivities, because we sinned and we turned our back on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And we did it even more by turning our face from his teachers, which is literally just turning your face from him. What is it? Acts chapter 5, near, I think, 39. Right. This is Acts chapter 5, verse 39, the KJV. It says, "But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against God." I'll read the NLT too. "But if it is from God, you will not be able to overthrow them. You may even find yourselves fighting against God." Right? That's what it is. We're really fighting against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai when we're not accepting his teachers, or when we're not trying to accept our true purpose. The purpose is right in front of you. And the best example is that the Lord got men teaching these scriptures every day. Something I'm bringing out, somebody else is bringing out. Like I said, a brother was going into the Gentiles in Great Millstone, the elder, I believe in Dallas. And I heard him, going to the Maccabees. And I just kept thinking about the Maccabees for the past, 5-6 hours? Yeah, for the past 6 hours, I could not stop thinking about the Maccabees, right? And this first chapter in itself hits Salaki for the bouncing around, right? So going back, reading verse 12, First Maccabees 1-12. "So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen." But we can see in Sirach where the Lord says he doesn't give us a license to sin, but the heathen give you a license to disregard Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Nobody is fucking over Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Nobody is, right? I'm going to skip past that, right? Because I'm going to have to slide back to work. So again, Lord willing, we can, get back into this Maccabees again, right? So right here you see this title where Antiochus tries to replace Judaism with paganism, right? He really just try to change the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai into paganism. So verse 41, "Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people," right? And this going to come into that new world order where everybody should be under this new world umbrella. But it's really just Rome, right? It was already warming you up to be part of this Roman mindset, right? You already been programmed with the sports, with the television, right? So as soon as they push this MOTB, some people automatically are already gonna fold, because right now you see certain women looking at it as it's a norm to show your skin, right? So they got us in the back. Verse 42, "And everyone shall leave his laws." So the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Guess what? It's going to be famine of the word, right? It might be restrictions on teaching, but it just goes into the prophecy in Amos, a famine of the word, right? The word, that word is going to be closed. That those doors is going to be closed, right? 43, "Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and those will be coons, sellouts, and sacrifice unto idols, and profane the Shabbat," right? And that's going to be plain on this side. Some people are going to yield to the ways or the religion of the Roman Catholic Church, really what they stand on, right? The sacrifice unto idols, where some of our brothers and sisters been doing it in a so-called industry, as you would say, right? But our sacrifice is sacrificing from the things of the world, things that put you in the flesh, right? You would sacrifice those things so you can be more of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. 44, "For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice, and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people." Our sanctuary now is this truth, and they're already putting brothers in certain situations, but it's really all of the Lord that got them profaning the sanctuary, right? Profaning his truth, right? Making a lie, making it for entertainment, making it for market, right? And the Lord is displeased. And then even more profaning his name, bringing forth this name, Jesus, earth pig, and not trying to give the Lord's children true edification, right? To edify them, to build them up even more on the name, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, so the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinance, right? If the more we forget Yahweh Shema Shai, this is why brothers and sisters will be swallowed up with Revelations, the 13th chapter. But the elect, if they hold on their patience in the hour of temptation, the Lord is going to be covering you. You're not going to give a damn about this side. You're going to have that thought like Judas Maccabees, right? Or Matthias, right? Or any other mighty men of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Yo, I'm sorry, y'all. I got to cut it short. Lord willing, you can remember we was at verse 50, right? So maybe next time we can go back into it again. But that, shalom, shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and double honors to the elders, a great millstone who will well through the Spirit teach this word and believe in this word. Lord willing, they can continue to endure and be sincere. Shalom.